Dear friends, this is Aditya Sharma again. This is my second video. I got overwhelming response from everyone on my first video, which I made about 3 days back. I'm really thankful to everyone who watched my video and gave their comments. So far, the feedback has been very positive and it's very encouraging also. So, as per the request of a lot of my viewers, today I'm going to discuss about the wealth part which is reflected in the horoscope. This is a very, very important subject, and there are plenty of articles which a lot of my colleagues have written on this. You might be seeing a lot of astrologers coming on YouTube as well as on TV explaining about the wealth yoga. My analysis for wealth has been entirely different because it's a very, very deep study. It's not something that somebody calls you on phone and asks you, okay, this is my date of birth and please tell me when I'm going to get money. Is there any wealth for me in my horoscope? It is not so easy. This is not something like that. You tell somebody to do maths. You tell somebody, okay, multiply 10 by 16 and give me the answer. Astrology is entirely different thing. Some people say, even I say, I agree almost 90% that it is a combination of science and arts. When I say science, science means it is based on the astronomical bodies, the planets, the nakshatras, and their movements, which has been confirmed by science. The art, in the sense that it is an art of seeing how those planet nakshatras are affecting a human body on the earth, because we are primarily concerned with that. The art of prediction has a lot of inputs, and it's very, very difficult for every astrologer to take care of all those inputs. And above all these, the utmost important thing which I want to stress is the blessing of God. It is not something like that physics that there's a set formula and you apply that formula and you get the result. It is not like mathematics, you do like this and you get the results. You may acquire a lot of knowledge. You may acquire a lot of information about stars, planets, houses, rashis, different kind of divisional charts. But still, above all this information, these are the information available to you that you can go through books, you can see TVs, you can watch videos, you can watch YouTube, you can talk to a lot of people. But when it comes to assessing a thing, when it comes to really predict a thing, you have to have the God blessings, because the contents what we read in the books, the contents which are taught in the college, the contents which we describe on YouTube and TV, they are just information, but they are not applicable on everyone, because there's a vast variety of people on the earth, which varies from country to country, continent to continent, and even in a country, place to place, and so many things are involved over there. Then the subject, age, there's so many factors. But I don't want to discuss in detail about that. I just want to begin with most important thing. The basic thing I just want to explain my viewers is that I just want to give a very, very small example. Suppose a guy, he wants to join army. So first of all, when he goes over there, they assess his outlook. They assess if he has got the basic things with him, like his height, his eyes, and his weight. That is just like the birth chart. Now, after assessing that, he is being called for the medical test. Then they test his body. When they test his body, they want to see, how is his heart position, how is his lungs position, whether he has stamina or not. They want to check his blood group. So after checking all this, they can take a decision. So that kind of thing is reflected in the numbers chart. Means you have passed through the birth chart, then you have to see something important in this. Then after that, the most important thing what one has to study is the complete thorough medical checkup of the guy. In that, they just want to assess, if you have a chronic disease, like you have symptoms of cancer, or you have diabetic, or you have a heart problem, then they are going to reject you outright. So these kind of things we study through Trimsham Dasa Amsa chart, which is D30 chart. That is the misfortune chart. So what I'm trying to say is that when an astrologer studies your birth chart and Namvasa chart, that doesn't suffice. If those are showing that you have got money, you are going to get money, you'll be rich or something. But if your Trimsam Apsa's chart, D30 chart, which is misfortune chart, that shows you have misfortune. So all your wealth will be realized in dreams only. So based on that, I try to study mainly three charts. The birth chart, when I'm saying, I normally go for D60 chart because that is the most important chart for me. Then I would study Namvasa chart. Then I would study the most important decision which I have to take, that I will take with D30 Trimsam Dasa chart, because I have to see misfortune. If there is no misfortune and there are good symptoms in your birth chart, Namvasa chart, then there are definitely chances that you might accumulate wealth in your life. When I say you might accumulate the wealth, it is seen from the various planets who are making yoga for the wealth. And when the direction of those planets come into your life cycle, then they start giving you results. If the direction of those planets are very, very late, say when you are going to be around 70, 80 years old, you might get money, but you won't be able to use that. That's the most important thing. It is something like that. Somebody has fixed deposit for you, and that fixed deposit you can encash, say, after 10 years or 15 years. So what happens? You have got money on paper, but physically you're going to get that money when it is going to be, your FD is going to be encashed. Same thing is applicable on the planets. When they are going to give you result is the most important factor we have to see as an astrologer. Otherwise, everything reflected in the birth chart, Namvasa chart, those are just dreams. Though nobody should get happy just seeing all those yogas, wealth yoga, this yoga. But the planets which are constituting these kind of yogas are not in force. Their directions are not there. Now coming back to the wealth part. Most important house that we have to see to begin with is the Lagna house, the ascendant house. Ascendant is like the engine. Stronger the engine, better is the train. So if the ascendant of your horoscope is poor, is badly placed, he's debilitated, he's eclipsed, then it's very, very difficult for an individual to have wealth. Next, we go on the second house. That is where the wealth is indicated, whether you will have wealth and you will sustain that wealth or not. After that, we come down to house number 5 of the horoscope. There we see whether you get money out of the blue, like you hit a lotto or something. This is like a fortune, which come in all of a sudden in your life. After that, we check the 9th house of the horoscope, which is basically the luck house. We have to see whether you have luck to get money or not. Then we see how you can get the money. If it is related, your luck house is related with the house of profession, then if you are a professional, you can make money. But how much result of your effort is going to come, that is reflected with the 11th house. So if 11th house is strong, 11th house Lord is strong, but second house Lord is weak, then what happens that you make money, but it will not sustain longer. And on the other hand, if your second house is very strong, 11th house is comparatively weaker, you will have to do a lot of efforts, but you will have money. Now in this, there are plenty of planets who play a role, and then the aspects on those planets and the house strength. The house strength is very, very important that I do from Ashtak Varga chart. So if any of the concerned house has less than 27 Ashtak Varga Bindu, then chances of wealth is a dream. How strong may be your yogas or whatever it may be, because that is the most practical thing which I've seen in my life for the last 20 years. The Ashtak Varga Bindu strength of the house has to be above 27. Higher than 27, like 35, 40, the best is the house. Then you have to see the aspect of good planets on those houses. If the Lord of the house is over there, he is associated with good planets who are benefit for that horoscope, the chances are much more that you will acquire wealth. Then second thing is that how it is being aspected by benefic planets. Now the aspect issue is very, very important, and which I just want to explain you how the aspect matters. Normally everyone says this planet is aspecting that house and this planet is aspecting that house lord. So it is malefic or it is benefic, it is boosting or something, but it's not like that. Because all the planets are posited in different degrees in a house, in a Rashi. And if they are aspecting any other planet in a different house, suppose a house opposite to it, which is applicable to all the planets, they aspect a seventh house from its own house. That means the house just opposite to this one. It is something like that, if a planet is in the first house, then the planet in the seventh house is aspecting the first house directly. Same way the first house lord is aspecting the seventh house lord and the house. Now there are two factors. The factors are house, and the second factor is the planet. Now, I just want to give you an example. Suppose it is dark, it is night. You are in your house, and outside your house, you hear some noise. So you come to your window. You come to your window with a lantern. So when you take out the lantern, you see a smaller portion outside. Then you bring a big torch. Then you see a broader picture outside because torch is giving you more view. Then if you want to see much more, you bring a flashlight. When you put the flashlight, it gives you much more aperture. You can see outside very clearly because it will be reflected. It will be on this subject you want to see. Same thing is with the planets. If a planet in the first house, suppose it is in the 3 degree, and the 7th house planet is on the 27th degree, as per the normal norms, which everybody says, they are aspecting each other. But it is not going to happen because the one planet is right in the beginning of the house. The other planet which is going to aspect is in the fag end of the house. So for that, for each and every planet, there is a set formula that one has to keep in mind, because if that is not taken into consideration, the aspect will not yield result. That's very, very important. For that, we see that sun, when it aspects any house opposite it, its reflection, its aperture or its rays are 10 degrees from its own position to left and right. Suppose sun is at 14 degree in a house, it is aspecting the house opposite it. So it will have an aspect that will range from 4 degree to 24 degree. If it is moon has 5 degree aperture, left and right. If moon is suppose 10 degree, so it will aspect the other house between 5 to 15 degree. If the planet over there for whom we are trying to consider anything is falling in that zone, It is good. This thing is called Deeptansh. Every planet has a Deeptansh. That means it has an aperture. Like Sun has 10 degree, Moon has 5 degree, Mars has 4 degree, Mercury has 3.5, Jupiter has 4.5, Venus has 3, and Saturn has 4.5. So this is the most important factor we have to consider when we are looking at the aspects. So based on all these, when we see each and every house, we see the directions, and we see the Ashtakvarga Bindu of that house. And most important, I have told you how is the engine of the train. That means how is the Lagan house and Lagan Lord. Apart from this, another most important thing I have told you is about your bad luck. Misfortune chart is the most important to see whether all these planets who are reflecting in birth chart and Namvasa chart so many fortune. But in your Trimsam Apsa chart, D30 chart, they are just dead. That means a person who has gone for the medical to join army has cancer. So if he has cancer, he cannot join army. So based on all these things, I calculate strength, and then I am able to assess what is the strength of a person to have wealth in his life through various charts. Friends, I am not going to elaborate everything much more in detail. I really want to thank you for watching my video because I just wanted to give you an idea how we calculate based on all these factors the wealth status of any individual. In case you have any feedback for me, positive or negative, I'll appreciate that. You can leave that on my website www.manhattanastrologers.com. I'm repeating it again, www.manhattanastrologers.com. I once again thank you for your time and watching me and listening my views. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye.